first comment in the part 1 of this video, I asked a question. I asked, could this be love? A wife accepted to sleep with another man for her to pay her husband's bill. From the comment, I got some people condemned the wife while some supported her. Never worry, let's complete the story now. As time went by, the wife came to bed one night to sleep in the same bed with the husband. Immediately after lying down, the husband, Mr. Joe, carried the duvet and went to the floor to sleep, leaving the bed for the wife. He said that he cannot share the same bed with such unfaithful woman. Mrs. Joe found it very difficult to cope with such punishment. She sat down thinking of what to do and how to explain herself. The following day, she went in tears. Now listen, Mrs. Joe has a lot of things bothering her. She remembered what her friend Chioma told her in the part 1 of this story, that her sacrifice for Mr. Joe started before their marriage. She paid a lot of hidden prices for Mr. Joe's survival in school during the days of their university. When Mrs. Joe recalled all that her friend Chioma told her, she cried bitterly. She had done a lot for love. Memories are hurting her, and those memories she doesn't know how to share with her husband. This gave her no rest of mind, and she has decided to leave the marriage. She woke up one fateful morning and started packing her bags. The husband was present that moment, but he found it very difficult to stop her because he strongly believed that his wife has been cheating on him. After packing her personal belongings, she left the house. But before she left the house, she turned to look at the husband's face, the face of the man she has been paying prices for. When she left, it was not easy for Mr. Joe, the husband. He never prayed for a broken home, but the page opened all of a sudden for him. Mrs. Joe met her friend Chioma after leaving her husband's house. Chioma consoled her and told her to stop crying because she has been crying all day. She could not say much, but all she kept doing was to cry. Mr. Joe said to himself when referring to his wife, he said, she could have allowed me to take care of this. She couldn't have given her body for a mere house rent. He decided to take action, which opened everything. He went to face the landlord man to man. He entered the landlord's house shouting and calling him to come down and face him like a man. He was aggressive and ready for anything that will happen. Immediately he turned to enter the house. Mr. Landlord came out of the house with his wife. To him, this is enough evidence to show that his wife has something to do with the landlord. The landlord stopped him from taking any action and started addressing him. As this was going on, his wife left both of them behind and went away. Mr. Joe was mad over the whole scenario and demanded that the landlord should explain to him what his wife came to do in his house. The landlord cautioned him to take it easy on his wife. He told him to go home and take care of his family. Mr. Joe demanded to know what his wife gave him that made him wrote a receipt of the house rent for her. Mr. Landlord told him to go after his wife, that he has a brave woman as a wife. He told him that he has not done anything with his wife, that they agreed to meet in 2 days, but she has just brought the money to him, so the agreement has been cancelled. He left him there after that. Mr. Joe, who was fast to conclude things, had to run after his wife. He met her on her way home and stopped her. He removed his cap and started apologizing to her. He said he was mad when he saw the receipt. He said that he noticed that the landlord has his eyes all over her, and that was why he thought that he has succeeded in having her. She told him that she noticed the landlord's advances when she went to give him light bill a few months ago. When the landlord came out, he was unnecessarily romantic. When she gave him the money for the light, he gave the money back to her and told her to keep it. She collected the money thinking that he was joking, but he meant it. He told her to keep the money and promised to give her more money and more gifts. She asked to know why he has decided to be such nice to her. He told her that he doesn't like seeing her look unkempt with old hairstyle, old clothes and old phone. He promised to change her life if she will accept him as a lover. She was surprised to hear such from her landlord. She rejected his offer, threw the money at him and left. She told him that she did nothing with the landlord. She went to fool him in order to end his disturbance until she was able to borrow the money from his brother. She told him that she left the house for one reason. She left because of guilt. She had decided to die with the secret, but it kept hurting her every day. During their school days, Mr. Joe came complaining to her about his school fees that was stolen. After his complaint, she was touched and she so much loved him that she had to see him sad. She consoled him and told him not to worry. She assured him that he must pay his school fees the next day. After talking to him, she excused herself and left. She didn't tell him where she was going to, but she told him to wait around for her, that she is coming. Joe didn't understand what she was up to. He said, okay, I am waiting. She was at a corner making a phone call to one of her admirers. She called to tell him that she has accepted his request, but just for that day. She made a demand from the young man, which is school fees. He accepted to give her the money as long as she is coming to his hotel room. This was not what she wanted, but for the sake of Mr. Joe, she has accepted to pay the price in secret. She stood there after the call for a while in deep thought. It was hard for her, but her lover boy must pay his school fees in order not to miss his exams. She summoned courage and left. She paid the price for her boyfriend to have his school fees. After they did, the young man dropped a note for her and left the hotel room. He wrote on the note, "Baby, here is the money, I love you." She went through the note and looked at the money. The boyfriend Joe was waiting for her at the school premises as she requested. It was evening when she entered from nowhere. They greeted and she sat down. She brought out an envelope and handed it over to him. He collected the money and looked into the envelope to see what is inside. When he saw money inside, he was shocked and asked her who owned the money and at the same time who gave her the money. She told him never to worry, that the money was for his school fees. He became very excited, dropped his books aside and hugged her. He forgot to ask further questions and was excited that finally he would take his exams. She told him that was the reason she left him. She said that the act of sleeping with a rich student to raise the money for him has been hurting her. Though it was once and was for him, but she always have this thought and guilt that she has been an unfaithful friend and a wife because of that singular act. When she wanted to leave, he stopped her and told her that the days of school has gone. It is true that he wouldn't have accepted that she should go through such for him, but he has forgiven her. He told her that he is happy that such did not continue in their marriage. He apologized for accusing her of sleeping with the landlord. Someone said that this decision is hard to take, but let me hear what you think about Mr. Joe's final decision. Please drop your comment and share this video so that others will learn. Expect new and amazing episode on Friday. Please help us to pass this information around by sharing this video. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure you turn on the notification bell for you to get our videos each time we post new videos. See you next Friday. Thank you for your support.